Hello, boys and girls. It's Delicatessen here again with your next episode of Quarantine Comedy. You'll have to excuse the no makeup and bad hair because, girl, it's quarantine. Who cares? So, today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite college stories. I went to a great school, got a great education, but I also partied a lot and met some very interesting characters. So, the first one I want to tell you is I took a class called Intro to Theater. My degree was in theater performance, but we had to take an Intro to Theater class for one of our gen eds, and all the theater kids took it because, well, easy A, right? So, in that class, we had an assignment where we had to tell a family story and eventually turn it into a skit in a group. So, like, you told your family story to your group. So, we got a little class time to kind of like write down our stories, and our professor goes up to this one kid who has his hand raised and he's having trouble. He can't figure out a story to tell. I don't know, man. We don't have stories. And then he was like, well, why don't you try how your family came to America? He's like, we've always been Americans, man. Okay, Chad. Um, who are you closest to? Well, my mom. Okay, why don't you just tell a story about your mom then? So we write, and then we all get in a group and we all go around and tell our stories. Like, someone told the time they got to go and camp in Yosemite, and it was beautiful. I actually told a story about how my family came from Sicily here to America. Yes, I'm Sicilian. I'm also a little Irish, if you can't tell. And then we get to Chad, and he tells the most insane story about his mom that I've ever heard. And it's not even really about his mom, it's about how his mom helped him. He said, well, one summer I got a job working in a factory, and a lot of the guys chewed tobacco, and they bet me I couldn't hold chew in my mouth for the whole day. They bet me like $10. So I was totally gonna do it. So I took a big like glob of this chew shit and put it in my lip, right? Well, I didn't know you were supposed to spit like the stuff out because it makes your mouth water. And so I was just swallowing it. So on my way home, my stomach was really upset, and I called my mom, and she's like, well, just get home. I'll make you some soup. But I shit myself on the way home. Like, it was all over my truck and all over me. So when I get home, I got the best mom ever. She came out with a big towel, and she, like, cleaned me up and wiped me down and hosed me down and cleaned out my truck. And I felt a lot better after that. But yeah, my mom's probably my biggest supporter. That that's the story you're gonna go with, not like my mom has a great cookie recipe, or we had a beautiful family memory or something. Just you chewed you chewed snuff and swallowed the juice and shit yourself, and your mommy came out with a towel and cleaned your ass. That's the one you want to go with? Okay, man, that's fine. Definitely an interesting class with interesting people. um Another time I had a good friend in college who wasn't a bro, but lived with like four other bros. So he was kind of bro adjacent. Like, there were five dudes that rented a house, and two of the dudes, my friend and his best friend, lived like, clean, healthy dudes. Their rooms were in the basement, and like their rooms, like you felt safe going in. The rest of it was like, monkeys had joined a frat. Just filth everywhere. There was a pile of used condoms in the hallway upstairs as like trophies. It was disgusting. It was filthy, but it was a party house. So going there to play beer pong and do keg stands, that was not a big deal. We had and we constantly, brought the freshmen in to come party with us. And so one time my friend Brad came, and he was wearing a tan short sleeve button down shirt, jeans, some brand new, fresh kicked white balance sneakers, and suspenders. And his outfit is only important as to what Drunk Me did, because he got wasted. I mean, wasted. So, he started puking off the side of the porch. And people that were friends with the bros, but not within like our theater department, which is where a lot of our friends came from those parties, were just like, dude, I think there's an Amish kid puking on the porch. They were pretty fucked up. And someone said, who? And I looked out and I saw it was Brad. They're like, is that kid Amish? And I said, absolutely. He's on Rumspringa. So we convinced this entire party that we had an Amish kid on Rumspringa there puking. There's a huge Amish community around where I'm from, so that is not like an uncommon thing to happen. So poor Brad's puking off the side of the porch. We're all taking turns like rubbing his back, and people are just randomly leaving, going, "Yeah, go Amish kid, Rumspringa!" And he keeps going, "What? Nothing, Brad. Don't worry about it, Brad. You just keep puking, baby. Don't worry about it." And then this one's so embarrassing for me, but it is what it is. We used to party a lot, girl, like a lot. And I got so drunk one time. We had an epic party in our little 2-bedroom apartment at Park Jefferson. It is called something different now, so I don't mind saying the old name of the apartments where we lived. I was so wasted, and we only had 2 bathrooms in this place, which was actually a pretty big deal to have 2 bathrooms and 2 bedrooms. Like, we had a full bath and a half bath off the master, so that was a huge thing. But we still had like 5 people living there, so we were poor. And so again, I cannot emphasize how drunk I was, but the bathrooms were busy, so I decided I would go out in the hallway and pee. I had on a dress, so I just slipped my panties off, and I just peed like an animal in the hallway of this apartment complex. And the thing is, I don't black out drunk too often. I usually remember exactly what I'm doing, so the next day I remembered it. And for weeks, all my roommates were like, "Oh my God, why does it smell like piss in the hallway?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. Couldn't tell you. The doors don't lock. Maybe someone just came in and did it. I don't know. I can't recall why the outside would smell like urine. That wouldn't be me. I wouldn't have done that because I'm a grown up and I don't do those things." So, needless to say, college was a very interesting time for me. And if I can give any advice to college kids nowadays, it's like just get through it. It's so much easier than high school. Yeah, like the classes are going to be a little more complicated depending on your degree, but you make your own schedule. At my college, they literally offered classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we had 3-day weekends every week, and we were just alcoholics. I mean, and especially in some college towns, you can get alcohol for like, you can get a pitcher of Long Island for like $2. So many of the college bars around here run specials like that. So we just met a whole lot of college drunk. Be responsible, study well, get good grades. But yeah, so lessons this week. Be careful when you party with bros because they may rely on their mom to wipe their ass, literally. Um, be careful where you pee at certain houses. Yeah, the whole like the little frat house place that I went, I never peed there ever. I would literally hold it until I got home. Mm-mm. It was gross. Couldn't do it. And then finally, don't just pee in the hallway of the place that you live because you're too drunk. At least go outside, you animal. Wow, this episode ended up being a lot more about bodily functions than I intended it to. Oh well. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please be sure to like, subscribe, share. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to talk about booking now that the states are starting to open up, I roll. I'm looking probably no sooner than July, but you can start inquiring now. Go to delicatessen.com, or you can email me at delicatessencomedy@gmail.com. And be sure and like my burlesque troupe, the Distressed Dolls. Again, on all those same social media platforms that I talked about. I am the host, MC. I'm there to make you laugh, but no worries. My clothes always stay on. That's a big draw for a lot of people. Thank you guys so much again for tuning in. Be sure and share with your friends. And Grandma, I guess there's really no point to tell you to stop watching these because you're going to do it anyway. And please know that, yes, I am properly ashamed. Love you guys. See you next week.